Spoiler alert.
Go.
Okay, so you got Captain America, but he's not Captain America, but he is Captain America because the government's like, oh, this is Captain America now. And whether you like it or not, he's Captain America. So you got Captain America, he's got a sidekick, which it happens to be like Captain America is white guy with black sidekick, just like it was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it was Sam, white guy, black sidekick, you know how it is. And then they go to Georgia. Is it Georgia? I don't know. They go and they meet this old super soldier who was like kind of under the radar for a couple years, and he's like super old now, but he's still like super strong. And Bucky didn't tell Sam about it because he didn't want him to freak out because there was another super soldier, and the guy just wanted to live in peace. And then they go outside, and Sam almost gets arrested by the police because they think he's bothering the white guy, Bucky. And then Bucky tells him not to call him Bucky or Buck because that was how Steve called him. And then
Stop.
we see.
That was a minute.
Oh, fuck me. Thank God.
You had to go a little bit quicker than that, Mike.
Dude, my brain,
There is a lot in this episode, though.
On the first one.
I'm Brian.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Julia.
And we are talking about episode 2 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So what's our plan? Buck, I have a plan.
We're gonna do it our own way.
Oh, and I have all of that on camera.
Great.
Better episode than last week.
Oh, for sure.
This was so good.
A lot of stuff still happens in this episode, but it's still taking its time as well, and that's really building a lot.
It's not as much. It's not as much as a slow burn as the first one.
Yeah.
Things start happening.
This is the first time that you see Bucky and Sam get back together. And what's really cool is at the beginning they're introducing this new Captain America. People are calling him U.S. Agent. Nobody's really calling him that, though he's still Captain America. His name is John Walker, and he has a, as Mike did explain, if you kept up with that, he has a sidekick. I believe I think it's like Battlestar. In the beginning, he's actually on an interview with Good Morning America, and if you listen closely to the drum line and the marching band, they're playing Star-Spangled Man with a Plan from the very first Captain America.
Yes. That's why I love that segment so much. And just the whole vibe you get with like football and marching band. It's like, yeah, it's Friday night, guys.
Yeah. And they're showing a montage of what John Walker has done. He's not a super soldier, but he's able to throw the shield as hard as Cap used to, and he's had 3 medals of honor, all that stuff. So it seems like he is one of the more deserving people to try to beat Captain America, even though people don't want to be Captain America.
I want to point out something in that montage because that was the question too, as well. Does he have any of that super strength or abilities that Steve Rogers had gotten after they, injected him or pumped him with all of that? In that montage, they show him boxing and hitting, what do they call it? The punching bag. And I noticed that's the same thing that Steve Rogers did in the first Avengers movie in one of the earlier scenes when he's frustrated, Nick Fury comes in and they're talking about after they pulled him out of the water, and they show him hitting it and it falls. And it was cool how it was a parallel in this.
Yeah.
Of him doing the same thing.
Later on as they go into the episode, because they see that Bucky is watching the same newscast that Sam was in the first episode. Bucky's not happy that Sam gave up the shield.
Not happy at all.
And Sam still really won't say why he really did do it. There's probably speculations on why he actually did, which is people aren't ready for him to be Captain America. They're not ready for him to be. He doesn't think he can do it, and people aren't also ready to accept, because I think this is going to be a running theme. There is some racial overtones or undertones in this series. As Mike did explain, Sam almost got arrested when he wasn't even doing anything. He was talking to Bucky.
Profiling.
Yes. I believe it is going to come up that people aren't going to be ready for a black Captain America. Even though he is in the comics, and obviously there's nothing wrong with that, people aren't going to be ready for a black Captain America. Yeah. And they go to, I believe it's Germany, and they find more of the Flag Smashers. And the Flag Smashers are all super soldiers. They all have what Steve had. They've been injected, and they have vaccines that they're stealing from the government. And there's people that are actually following these people and helping them along their route to keep doing what they're doing, providing them food, shelter, and access to internet to wipe their slates clean. There is a part in this where it's Bucky and Sam. Bucky gets arrested because he didn't go to his therapy.
Court order therapy.
Yeah.
The therapist tells them to sit eye to eye.
Oh my god, I love this part.
This was the
And-
best.
Scoot closer, and their legs go like this.
Yeah. And it's really funny because they start having a staring contest. They're literally just staring at each other. And she says, just stop staring, blink.
No, she's like, are you guys having a staring contest?
Yeah. There's a lot more comedy in this episode, which is good because the first one was it was almost kind of difficult to watch because it is showing a lot of what's happening to the world now that everybody's back, but nobody knows what's going on really. They're just trying to get back to their lives and they really can't. This is more comedy because the chemistry between Bucky and Falcon they have great chemistry. You saw that in Civil War. You could tell they really like acting with each other. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, they love acting with each other because they can just bounce off each other.
They also like crapping on Tom Holland together. It's this running joke that never ends. It just
So
goes
good.
on and on and on.
Jennifer, what's the thing in this episode that they're talking about the three?
Oh,
You mentioned
it's one of
that.
the big three. It's either
No.
aliens,
And
androids, or wizards. And they say there's no such thing as wizards. And they're like, yeah, Doctor Strange. It's like, no, he's got a hat. He's a sorcerer. Like, no. And then they bring up, so
A
he's like
wizard is just a
Gandalf.
sorcerer with a hat.
They bring up Gandalf, and Sam's like, how do you know about that?
And then Bucky's like, I read that in 1937 when it first came out. That was funny.
What?
I was
like,
cracking up at that point.
when
I'm
they
like, this is
brought
gonna
up-
be a good episode.
when they brought up Gandalf, that's like a reference to the first Avengers movie when Iron Man and Hawkeye are going to the top of the building. He's like, "Oh, clench up, Legolas," and he like grabs him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know
okay.
that.
See, that whole part where it's like these running jokes back and forth between Sam and Bucky when they go to that warehouse at first. As soon as Bucky jumps out of that plane, the jokes just start. Sam's like, yeah, I caught all that on camera.
And what was the joke about him? Like, oh, I can fly. Like,
Oh, well,
he just
I
got-
can take them. I've got a vibranium arm. And then Sam's like, I can fly, but who gives a shit? Like, there was so much stuff. And they brought up Wakanda.
You're the White Panther.
He's the White Wolf.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I thought I
Well,
heard
no,
White...
they said that at first about when you spent your
Oh.
time in Wakanda. They did bring that up. And then he's
Okay.
like, no, I'm the White Wolf.
Wolf.
He's like, huh?
Mhm.
Like, what?
Bucky, you can tell very much that he's just ready for action, more action, and everything else. That he's not even going to wait to see where these guys are going. He just wants to take them now.
Mhm.
While Sam is trying to calm him down and try to do it stealthily. Either way, it doesn't work. They end up meeting up with the new Captain America, which the new Cap was kicking some butt. He really was.
Conveniently, he shows up when like bad stuff happens. Like he
Yeah.
knows where they're at. He shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, I hacked into Red Wing. Like, nah, dude, nah.
Yeah, and then they break Red Wing.
Something's going on underneath it.
The
See,
Flag
I
Smashers-
liked him at the when they were introducing him at first in the locker room and all of that. Like, I was okay with him, but then when they started showing him, and he's almost got this like government ego.
Kind of
and-
cocky and annoying.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this is really a big no for me.
Something's going to turn up where he is going to be probably going to be one of the villains.
That's what I'm hoping. I was saying that I hope happens because I said I can't take him being a regular and a good guy.
Here's the thing. I actually really don't hope that he does. I really hope that they give him more of a better story arc than him just turning evil. Where
So-
him and
They
What?
could do it one of two ways.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping they do it this way. He's the leader of the Dark Avengers, which that's got
what?
the Dark Avengers.
Never
It's got
heard of
like
it.
Venom and I think Hawkeye and Norman Osborn's involved with it too. So like they could do it one of two ways. They could totally set up for the next like big movie story arc with Dark Avengers. Or they're gonna make him into the villain of this show, which I'm good with either. Like the superhero stuff.
I'm really hoping that they don't. I'm hoping they give him a better story than him just going evil, because we are at the end of the episode, they're talking about how there's only two factions that can really get the super soldier serum, which is the government and Hydra. And they mentioned that they're gonna go see Zemo.
Yeah.
And they brought back the actor who played him.
Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah, him. He doesn't say anything. They just show him patiently just sitting in this cell
with that
the
music
chessboard
playing.
and stuff like that, with opera music, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go find Zemo in the next show. I'm hoping that Cap is gonna have this new Cap is gonna have a better story arc where he's gonna learn to not have to follow the rules as much, because even the original Cap didn't do that much. He started to, but he stopped after a while. Overall, though, this is a much better episode than the first one. To me, it is. There's more action, more comedy. It's a lot easier to follow because you finally get to see them together instead of apart for the first episode, and now they're just going for one mission.
Yeah, I was really interested in it, and I was entertained the whole time I was watching it. It really felt like you were watching a sequence in a Marvel movie, considering all the action, and then the comedy bits just made it awesome. I thought it was funny when Sam, I think it was when, I don't remember which part it was, but he may have been in Boston or something. Another kid was on the street, and he was saying like, oh, he called him the Black Falcon, and then he's like, why black? And he's like, do I call you Black Kid? I just thought that was cool.
They was on their way to go see the
Isaiah?
super soldier guy.
I didn't know if that was part of seeing Isaiah. I couldn't remember. Yes.
Yeah, yes, Mike.
Okay, so we tried out on Disney Plus. There's this feature, and it's called like Group Watch or whatnot. And we tried that out here Friday with me and my one roommate in the living room, the other roommate in his room. And let me tell you, if one person leaves the group watch, you have problems. Like it'll skip ahead to sync up with where they were at. And then it'll skip back to where you were at, and it'll skip ahead, and it'll skip back. So we're like, what's going on with this? Like, no more group watch. But it is cool because I can send you a code, and I can send you a code, and we could all watch it, but nobody pause it because it'll cause problems.
See, yeah, I knew it was a thing, but I did not know how to, because I just was using it on my TV. I think you have to have the app on your phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have Disney Plus on my phone, so.
And then I think they pull it up on their TV, and then they scan the code or whatever, and it'll pull them into the room with you. It's interesting. It's cool. But like, definitely recommend not pausing it for like anything or having somebody leave.
Yeah, I'm sure it can probably get very interesting trying to figure out. But so, what would you guys give the rating for this episode?
I would give it a 10 out of 10, honestly, because it honestly met all of my expectations. It gave the multiple feels that a Marvel movie gives.
Yeah.
There was more characters in it. I honestly had no problem whatsoever at all with this episode. So
I would rate it 10 too. Definitely higher on the ladder than the last episode.
Give it a solid 10 on this one, because they actually like a little more action, and they touch upon like touchy subjects that are actually going on in today's setting, because it's like, oh yeah, they're not aside from like what's actually going on. And I like that new Captain America, they kind of like hint at what he could become in this one. And I like that they brought back Zemo and the actor that plays Zemo, because that's cool. It's a 10 out of 10 for me, dog.
Well, I'm gonna be the Russian judge, and I'm gonna give this a 7. The only thing that I really didn't like is that when you're watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, I do want a little bit more action. There was only one action sequence. It's a good action sequence, but I do want a little bit more. The acting is good. The storytelling is good. It's getting better, and I'm waiting for, because like I said last week, I think the last 2 episodes are just going to be action packed, and those are probably going to be 10s, unless the action is just terrible. You know what? Really quickly, did anybody else find him throwing the shield look weirder than when Cap does? When Steve Rogers does?
I don't remember. I'd have to
It's
watch it again.
a little bit, but it's just because we're so used to seeing how Steve Rogers throws the shield, and we see someone else throw the shield, and it's like it's their style of throwing it.
Like,
What
I'm
do
not
you
even talking
notice
about like how he threw it, like his motion in throwing it. It looked like it was faster.
Yeah, I did notice that where it looked
Did it
like
look
it
faster
was.
when he was
It
throwing
looked
it?
like he was a little stronger with his throw.
Yeah.
To me, it almost looked effortless and fake.
Like when
Meaning he threw it too easily, like you see Steve like really winging it. It was just like doink.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Mike.
Okay, so like when they showed what's his name?
John
Don't
Walker.
tell me. Don't tell me. John Walker. Thank you. When they showed the footage of John Walker and he's like, yeah, I've auditioned and I did this and I did that. When they show him throwing the shield and it just completely destroys those targets,
Oh yeah.
I was actually like, oh God, that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's scary how powerful he's throwing it. Because
It's a
like
little,
if you look at how Steve Rogers threw it, he was like throwing it hard enough to actually like stun the person, but not kill him. Whereas with him throwing it, I feel like he's gonna take someone's head off.
wait,
Like he's actually
Yeah.
going to kill people with that.
Oh boy.
what's crazy, see, when I'm looking at it, it's how, because when Steve used to throw it, he used to have to calculate where it was going to go so he can get it
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
That's from him being a super soldier. This guy, he's not telling us everything that he's probably a super soldier. There's something.
Yeah,
with
that's
him
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
There's something fishy
Not just
about
like his
him.
military background, you know.
where he's
Yeah, there's
thrown
something
the-
else with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have done something to the suit from the first episode because he actually fills it out a lot better in this episode.
Yeah, it looks way better in this one.
Okay, but no, he's throwing that shield faster than Steve ever did. I do see where they're going with it, I hope I don't. I really do hope I don't see what's happening because I don't want him to be the villain, but for some reason I'm seeing Skrull, and I don't know why.
That's an
But-
interesting observation that I noticed that in the sequence with him throwing it, it's bouncing off all that. I'm like, how is it that strong? And I definitely see there's a difference between him throwing it and then Steve.
So his internet went down.
Yeah, I might.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect.
Okay, don't touch it after it's there.
Now it's gonna fall again.
Mike, just hold it. We're not going to have it that long.
But no, what
Yeah,
happened
ready?
was like the internet completely just crashed here. Like
Yeah,
everything
he's
I had
like-
open just shut down.
You wanna close it out?
That sucks.
Is there anything else anyone has to say that was urgent that they need to get out about this episode?
No,
Okay,
we
so, like-
covered it.
So I like how they gave like a little nod, like, yeah, here's John Walker, new Captain America, walking into frame to talk to somebody without his helmet on.
What do you?
Huh?
It's like how like Steve never used to wear a helmet really that much,
Oh.
and this new Captain America's walking around without a helmet on.
Oh, he just whips it off for the interview.
Yeah, he's just like walking around with that on, like it's no
that's
big
right.
deal.
You're right.
That's it.
All right, so
That's-
Mike doesn't have to hold his phone after all the technical difficulties. We thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Facebook.
As we're having technical difficulties.
And we will we'll see you next week for more Stuff Club and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. See you guys.
Yes. See you next
Bye-bye.
week with this. Bye.
Bye.